Got this latest thing from Renee on the RCS on the definition of wetlands.
I think what they're doing, Jack, is,
Redefine it.
yeah, there's been several projects that they're using as a kind of a filtering type situation for contaminants from some drainage districts, and now it looks like NRCS is changing the ratio and the mitigation part of it. We've learned that new mitigation guidance issued by the Iowa NRCS for nitrate removal wetlands will make it possible to get only 20 to 30% of the potential farmed wetland mitigation out of a treatment wetland typical to the Iowa initiative. This results in tripling of the cost of farm wetland mitigation.
So they want to change it from 1 to 1. If you mitigate 1 acre, you've got 23 acres. Or...
Well, I'm not totally. It looks to me like they're. As I read here, it says, we have learned that the new mitigation guidance issued by the Iowa NRCS for nitrate removal wetlands will make it possible to get only 20 to 30% of the potential farm wetland mitigation out of a treatment wetland typical to the definition. So that they're only giving 20 to 30% of the credit that they were initially giving for these farm wetland mitigation sites. That's what they're doing. And instead of having a 1-to-1, now they're making it 0.2 or 0.3 instead of 1-to-1. So then that
just takes more.
Right. The net
to recreate more swamps elsewhere to make up.
The net effect is that they're getting 1/3 of the financial.
Well, is that you know where the NRCS is coming from on these pilot projects? At the end or the bottom of these districts, they create a treatment marsh, and then in turn, everybody that's in the district can retile if they choose to. So that's where the rub is. They don't want the landowners to be able to redo old tile systems or improve.
And before they were allowing, in those created marsh things, they were allowing 1-to-1. Now it's 0.2 or 0.3.
So that's really good. It's going to be really detrimental to trying to get these projects done. They're going to get landowners to participate.
So pushing mitigations costs up to more than the costs of the drainage improvements themselves will kill any worthy project. That's kind of my criteria. We consider it fair and reasonable that all saturated or pool fringe soils and treatment wetland pools, which that's like the Pocahontas site, with depths of up to 5 feet be utilized for mitigation, and that the required mitigation ratio be no more than 1 mitigated wetland acre for 1 converted farm wetland acre.
So if you have like a 40-acre marsh treatment center, you can now for this, you can mitigate 40 acres throughout the district.
That's why I understand.
And convert them to farm wetlands.
And at our last drainage meeting, Ivan had said something about this, that they weren't accepting those pool areas anymore. And
So it's interesting that the NRCS wants to kill these projects.
somebody does.
Sure track meet last time?
No, they couldn't.
They're cold.
It was dry last night. You can put more clothes in there.
So right now, we have a 1-to-1 ratio, don't we?
Well, if you read further, they're in one spot here, they're saying prior to this policy change, the NRCS had for many years accepted on average about 0.6 of created restored wetland as full mitigation of loss function or values of converted farmland. So evidently they were only allowing 0.6, and they think 1-to-1's fair, and NRCS wants 0.2 to 0.3. And then the pool area, they're, instead of 5 feet, they're saying they're only allowing 18 inches.
What do you mean, what's that mean?
If,
The pool area, you mean?
anything that they dug out to pool for water, they're saying can't be any more than 18 inches deep. And before, it sounds as if it had been 5 feet. So if you're, that would allow way less holding capacity. Yeah.
18 inches freeze up the first time. They good for duck hunting. 5 foot. All better. From that side. Wonder why do they only want it 18 inches?
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
Seems like, on one hand, some people in the NRCS look at drainage as contributing to flooding, but if you make the pond or the holding area deeper, it has the potential to hold more water back from the first stream, and then
This, in the end of
18 inches.
Etler's letter here, this is all voluntary. The landowners in the pilot project areas do not have to build the treatment wetlands, and they do not have to improve their drainage. We assert that maintaining the status quo is not the best result for the landowners or the environment. We believe that NRCS should extend support to this important initiative rather than to take the unusual steps that it has so far taken, which can be readily viewed to be intended to stop or at least hobble the initiative. Without the ability to mitigate farmed wetlands and treatment wetlands, drainage districts will not have any incentive to voluntarily embrace the Iowa initiative.
We went shopping and I was a lot better than mine. Yeah, I know, I realize that. Which is amazing.
This historic effects of the NRCS policy changes upon the cost to mitigate 1 acre of converted farm wetland in the nitrate removal wetland constructed to treat drain tile system discharges. Initially it started out at $6,000 in 1987, and now with the changes they're to $60,000 on a per acre thing, on a per acre. Bottom line, there's been a tenfold increase in mitigation costs to the owners of farmed wetlands. All was done by NRCS without administrative rulemaking.
Oh, it's the weirdest thing. I don't know. I mean, they're like, it's not, doesn't make any sense. But, yeah,
That's unfortunate.
Look at the chart on that,
Oh, yeah.
man.
So this comes out of Washington or Des Moines? This is-
I would say it's a federal thing because it's,
NRCS.
yeah. IDOLS does, that's the state administrative part, and then the NRCS is fed. We just learned that the Iowa NRCS had put an incorrect email address in its news release regarding public comment opportunity on proposed changes to Iowa wetland mitigation requirements. The correct email address is, and it's listed here. Please ask your constituents to resend comments to NRCS by April 5th as of Friday, March 25th, they had only received 15 comments. But if they didn't have the right address, it would be
Kinda hard
difficult
to get comments with the right, wrong address on them. Do we want to send a letter though?
We need to respond in some fashion.
Some kind of a letter?
A letter or an email?
Pardon?
Should we send an email or?
Either way, but
Yeah.
we need to do something.
There is a model letter that
Yeah, and that's to the
senators.
senators and
Yeah.
our representatives.
You wanna scan that and put it on your Sac County letterhead?
It just, with that kind of cost, it just makes it impossible to do any kind of mitigation. It's just eliminating it totally.
You want to make that in the form of a motion? That we send this letter?
I'll move to prepare a response to the appropriate spots in NRCS, talking about our position on the wetland mitigation projects.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. All ayes, motion carried.
Every 10 years, it's just effectively doubled. Well, actually, in the last
We done last 2.5.
3, it's
Yeah,
doubled again.
2.5 to 3, it really went.
And- But 87 to 99 is a double, and then
You know, the only,
99 to 2008 is a double.
it just, be interesting to hear their logic, the NRCS. Because, you know, say you convert 10 acres out of a 2,000 acre watershed, or 20. You know, you're running the whole 2,000 acres though through a filter. I mean, maybe it's not ideal, you know, maybe they don't want any wetlands converted. But in the whole scheme of things, you're gaining, you're running, you know, 1,960 acres that are already drained. You're running that through a filtering system.
This makes no sense.
It's just, I mean, they're just being,
It's a win-win. I mean,
well, except those in the NRCS that are against any additional drainage.
well, but it's, if you do that, you're actually filtering all of it instead
Yeah,
of
I
just
know.
the small percentage that
Yeah,
that
right.
you would be improving. That's
Yeah.
what's,
I know.
I mean, you're getting a,
Well, it's just the
2,000%.
the same flawed logic in disturbing the nest, you know, every 30 years, if we do a clean out, we disturb nesting in any CRP land that's adjacent to, of course, that's the FSA, that's the Farm Service Administration. That's not the
and it
NRCS.
sounds like they're sticking to that
Yeah.
so far.
you know, I'm switching gears, I haven't seen any pheasants, you know, running around the farms. Do you see hardly any?
Not this winter.
You see them too? Well, it just seems like,
Last winter was so terrible on them, I mean, they
Yeah.
last fall, had to lose a lot.
Morning doves now.
Well,
where do you know, how do you hunt mourning doves?
do we have anything else?
The only place we see them is on the farm place, they like blue spruce. Those real
that on your letterhead. You can sign it
quickly.
before you leave.
Okay.
conifers,
And then we'll shoot it
they
down,
can
email
fly
that.
into those.
Pardon me?
Are we gonna
And other
email
birds
it or
can't.
mail it?
We can mail it.
Don't we just have an email address though? Is there another
Well, I don't know.
spot?
I guess you just walk through the timber and
Wait for a bird to fly.
they got bipartisan support. And I'm glad they didn't take, you know, volumes of time like they have in other sessions. They went through pretty fast.
I think they use the argument that the pheasant population is down. We want to keep the hunters coming in by Iowa.
Is that what they,
Yeah.
I suppose.
did you find a regular address? Jim, I haven't.
Are there, when you go down to Maine, are there more pheasants down there than around here?
Not that I've really noticed.
Well, it's, well, I'll just have her,
I think the most effective way to do it would be to send to this corrected email address.
yeah.
Otherwise, it may or may not get the right spell.
Richardson.
And
I'll just have her type this,
onto our,
well, it won't be on your
Yeah, it
letterhead,
won't.
it'll just be,
but I think that's the way we need to respond and
Yeah.
just
I'll get it.
sign it as board support.
Are we gonna send to the representatives or something?
Do that as well.
Talk to Renee, see if she can do that. Is Ron coming, or are you coming?
Sometime.
We'll recess until we determine what Ron's status is.